So I found an exclusive video of the backdoor negotiations that are happening between the Denver Post and the actual city of Denver. Check this out.
Hey man, give me your wallet right now. Yes, here you go. And I apologize.
Words tonight from the Denver mayor's office as they proclaim we will not be bullied by the owners of the Denver Post. They stopped paying rent on a building owned by the city months ago, and now the newspaper owners say they want to buy out their lease. Your investigator Brian Moss broke the story for you on Monday after he discovered that the newspaper owners stopped paying the rent to the city. That was in August. It's a huge amount we're talking about here, Brian, $650,000 a month. And of course, this is starting to sound a lot like posturing.
There's a lot of posturing here, but there's also a lot of money at stake.
Yeah, sure. Feel free to call it posturing if you want to. I call it a company just basically coming up and strong arming the city. No, I'm not giving you your money. No, I do not care. But I find this hilarious. Let's see what's going to happen.
This is really high stakes right now between the city and the Denver Post, which stopped paying rent. After 3 months, the owners of the paper owe the city about $2 million in back rent and late payments. But they say they want to get out of their lease. It's the largest the city has.
Okay, so the city of Denver is a very left-leaning, a very liberal place, and a lot of their policies like soft on crime, the amount of money that they have spent on migrants, people who have came to this country, not necessarily with permission. It's caused a lot of problems. I know there's a big ass homeless problem that is down in downtown Denver. And I really wonder if that has any type of play onto as to why the Denver Post stopped paying rent, right? If your city is not being managed well, then why would somebody want to have their corporate headquarters downtown? I don't know. I'm speculating at this point.
The city of Denver wanted the Denver Post building at the corner of Broadway and Colfax and bought it less than 2 years ago for nearly $89 million, banking on the Denver Post owners continuing to pay rent for another 5 years, $650,000 a month, adding up to around $8 million revenue each year for the city.
Quite frankly, unable to connect the dots on this project. I'm unable to reach the conclusion that the taxpayer is getting a good deal for this money, and I urge my colleagues to vote no. Thank you.
When you have the fiduciary responsibility of just being the good steward of public tax money, i.e., when you're supposed to spend other people's money properly, anytime where there is a, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this, that is probably a full stop if you don't have an immense amount of cash on hand, right? There really shouldn't be an argument, in my opinion, about buying something or spending public money, public funds coming out of other people's taxes on stuff where you, A, cannot guarantee a return, and B, where you can't justify it and everybody agrees on it, because if it turns out bad, what happens to all those people who paid taxes, right? I mean, it's looking like now they're not getting the services that they paid for, but let's see.
But some city council members were skeptical, saying the city didn't need the building and was overpaying. But council voted 9-4 to approve the purchase.
I have had a chance to ask a lot of questions. I still don't have a lot of answers.
Councilwoman Flor Alvarez voted against the deal.
I wasn't confident that this building was worth $90 million, and I did have a lot of concerns around the need.
Okay, question. Did the city have a real estate appraisal done? Like, seriously, did they have a real estate appraisal done? Did they have an independent third party come by and say, hey, this building is worth exactly what we're paying for it, or if we're overpaying? I feel like if you're going to speculate on real estate with other people's money, you should be responsible enough to have an appraisal company come in, tell you what you're worth. What the building is worth is what you should pay for it, like you're paying the right price for it. I don't think it should just be like a knee-jerk shoot from the hip reaction, right? So is this building worth it? Should we be paying this? And a third-party professional should be the one responsible for telling you that.
Around the need.
The CBS Colorado exclusive is just the latest hit in Denver's depressing budget shortfall.
On Monday, we revealed the leaseholder on the building, DP Media Network LLC, hadn't paid rent to the city in 3 months. Their attorney telling the Denver Post that they want to buy out their lease.
This is extremely terrible for our tax-paying residents.
Bro, Denver taxes as high as Snoop Dogg and Willie Nelson on a spacecraft. Yeah, I would say this is bad for the residents after you spent all of the money that you have been basically gouging people for, overcharging with these high ass taxes. Yeah, this is bad. You stole all my money and then you put it into something that was not even supposed to be having money spent on it. Okay. You didn't fix the potholes. You didn't fix the homeless problem. You didn't fix the crime problem, but you bought a building. Yeah, I would venture to say this is really bad for Denver taxpayers.
Alvidrez says the city clearly did not do enough due diligence on the deal.
I think voters are very concerned and they don't trust this administration.
Fact.
She hit the nail on the head with that one. I wouldn't trust Mike Johnson to color outside the lines with a can of spray paint.
For a city facing a $200 million budget deficit next year, it can ill afford this massive revenue loss. Council members only learned of the debacle Monday when they saw our reporting.
If you're asking if you think that City Council should be aware if an income stream of $700,000 a month stops coming in, yes, I absolutely think I should get that information from internal, not from a reporter on the outside.
This baffles me. Absolutely. This is absolutely mind blowing. How are you telling me that y'all ain't even got no group chat? You ain't got no mass email. How is it that council members are finding this stuff out from the news, right? It makes absolutely no sense. Like, you could have even went to Facebook, right? You could have had a Facebook group like, hey, government, Denver government. Like, you ain't send nobody an Instagram DM. What? There's really no excuse for a lack of communication in 2025 when everybody has a light speed communication device sitting right in their front pocket. You have a supercomputer that connects you to the entire internet and the entire world. How are these people not talking about this? And to boot, that light speed communication device is an actual cell phone. You could have picked it up and called somebody if you was too lazy to text. I just really do not get that. That part really gets under my skin.
A spokesperson for Mayor Mike Johnson said, "We have historically not briefed council because a tenant has missed a rent payment, as it happens from time to time and is typically corrected."
It was several missed payments.
Councilwoman Chantel Lewis says the mayor's statement is disingenuous.
So the moment that it stops being revenue generating and it starts to become a deficit, you have a responsibility as a mayor to tell your council members, period.
Yo, somebody hand this lady a mic so she can just drop that right quick. She is absolutely correct. How many people do you know that own a business or run a business that just start losing revenue on something, especially in real estate? When you are not generating money from an asset, you know right off the bat, if the rent is not being paid, you have a problem, especially on a mortgage with an $89 million mortgage, right? I would really like to see the interest rate. I might have to go dig around and look for that. But if you have got a bank to pay back with this money, you as a landlord are on the hook for paying the bank back too. So the city is probably in debt to a bank. If you are not generating that revenue, if you are not getting that money back in your pocket, you have a problem, a whole problem, and you need to address it quickly. Especially at this dollar amount, you need to let folks know.
But that didn't happen. Now both Lewis and Alvidrez say they fear Denver voters may be gun shy
Vote yes on measures 2A through E
about voting for the $950 million Vibrant Denver bond on the November ballot.
If you are not managing the money that you currently have and you're not even telling us about the mismanagement of those dollars, why should I give you more?
Fact.
After we reported Monday night on this non-payment of millions of dollars, the mayor's office briefed city council members the next day. The mayor's office says, quote, "We intend to recover the money we are owed. We don't care how big of a corporation they are. The city and county of Denver will not be bullied."
Bro, this is an entire government, and somebody stopped paying this government and said, we want to buy out our lease. You are already getting bullied, in my opinion. Okay, so let's just put that down. Next, Mr. Mike Johnston, why did you decide to brief people after the news pressured you into doing it? Okay, this is in my opinion, this is a sign of bad political governance, bad management, bad fiduciary responsibility, taking. I have no idea what I'm saying right now. This is just somebody not being responsible in a position. Okay, let me just clean that up. Just everything all bottled into one. Why would you not tell people? Why would you make the news pressure you into telling your fellow council members, right, your coworkers about what is going on with taxpayer money, right? I hope people see this, people that live in Denver, I hope they see this and I hope they vote accordingly. I see this new $900 million bond that's supposed to come up. I guess they're relocating Empire Field, or they're relocating the Broncos Stadium. But if the city cannot get a handle on managing finance, I'm not sure if that's going to be such a smart idea going forward. Maybe we need to, I don't know, pass a resolution, or maybe we need to look at what needs to be done to have further guardrails put on real estate investments, because the way that the city of Denver is moving right now, I can't say this is the best way to go about things. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. Y'all have a good one. Peace.